Hello everyone, and welcome to my strange psychological experiment. Hello, welcome to a new video. My name is Jisoo, otherwise known as Jsoupy on the internet. It's lovely to have you here. So a few weeks ago, I stumbled across this video by Leech or Leechits, where they did a really interesting 8-hour sketchbook day / dopamine detox. And in it, they did like 30 minutes of sketching and then 30 minutes of rest. But throughout the whole 8 hours, they weren't allowed to go on social media or watch YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I thought that would be like the perfect challenge / psychological experiment for me, because I'm literally like the world's most distracted artist ever. I don't think I exist in my day-to-day life without having music or a video turned on in the background. And yeah, it's not very conducive to living a very present life or being very there in the art flow. So yeah, I turned off my computer, I turned off my phone for the day, and embarked on this challenge. For the first hour and a half, I followed the exact same structure as Leech. I did 30 minutes of drawing and then 30 minutes of rest, but then I kind of go off the rails. You'll see in the rest of the video. Yeah, in these first 30 minutes that you're seeing right now, I was having a grand old time. I was a little bit nervous at the prospect of like being totally offline and unavailable to everyone. I was like, ooh, what if I get a call? But then I'm like, when do I ever get a call? So I ended up fully focusing on these 2 sketchbook pages. And mind you, I haven't drawn in my sketchbook in such a long time, and I forgot how awesome and helpful it is to actually like jot down your ideas. I feel like I'm such a words thinking artist, if that makes sense. But the drawing thinking, it was really good. And I felt so inspired. And actually the hardest part of this first hour was the 30-minute break, where I couldn't do anything except for wait for the 30 minutes to go by so that I could draw again. I was like, oh my gosh, my only source of dopamine right now is working on this painting that I really want to start. So I was sitting around like, oh my gosh, I actually really want to draw. Either I want to go back to my sketchbook or I want to get started on this painting. So yeah, I feel like I was already kind of seeing the positive effects from the first hour. So my phone ran out of battery, but I'm about 19 minutes into the second 30-minute burst of drawing. So I did 30 minutes of drawing, 30 minutes of rest, and now I'm on my second 30 minutes of drawing. But I was so inspired by the first 30 minutes of sketching that I'm kind of saying, fuck it. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. And I'm gonna draw for however long I want. And I have so many ideas that I want to do, and I'm feeling so creatively pumped, so I'm just gonna go for it and see what comes of it. I did a bit of an underpainting for a painting, and while I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm gonna make some pamphlets to make zines in. So yeah, feeling really pumped. Here I am going off the rails. I don't think I felt this inspired to make stuff in a really long time, so I really wanted to seize the opportunity, seize the day, you know, carpe diem, am I right? So I started putting these zine pamphlet thingies together and found this like genius way to use my loop turner to thread bind them. I don't know, if you want a video on zines, I can make them. They're like my secret passion. But then my underpainting dried and I wanted to work on my paintings. I started sketching my painting out, and then I got really hungry and I wanted to make lunch. But then I ended up meal prepping, and hear this. I made like 8 servings of soup and 4 servings of red curry and 8 servings of kale salad and 4 servings of roast veggies. And then with my veggie scraps, I made a vegetable stock to freeze. And mind you, all of this took like 2 to 3 hours. And I was doing it in complete silence because I wasn't allowed to listen to music. So afterwards, I was so dead. I feel like I feel like that was like the most physically taxing part of my day. And I felt so drained afterwards that I had to go for a walk. So yeah, that was like the next 3 hours of my day. So I came back from my walk at around 3 o'clock and I immediately started painting. And I think this was the most challenging part of the challenge. Like, up till now, I had just been really pumped and excited about all my ideas. And then now it was time to actually execute them. And I think that's really the hardest part of art making for me. And I found that I was really, really, really craving to go on Instagram or to check my messages or to turn on some music or to have like any distraction at all from feeling these like vulnerable, uncomfortable emotions that were bubbling up inside of me. Which really makes sense, right? Like, I think in my day-to-day life, my method of emotional regulation is to just distract myself with other things. So I was pretty grateful and pretty glad that I did this challenge so that I could observe those feelings within myself. And because I had no distractions, I really just had to like sit with these feelings and then work through them. And it kind of makes me wonder how much longer or how different this painting would have turned out if I did have my usual set of distractions. I think in terms of workflow, I had like zero thoughts. I was only thinking about the painting, which is so weird because when I first started the challenge, I thought my overthinker brain would start thinking about like everything in my life and I would have just like this constant barrage of thoughts all day. But it was so strange. I really wasn't thinking about that much. I was in the zone. I was in my painting. I was thinking about what decisions I should make for my painting. And strangely, but also not that strangely, I feel like I have so many more thoughts and so many more things going on in my mind when I do have all those distractions, even though the purpose of them is to like distract myself from my thoughts. Counterintuitively, they make me think a lot of things. So yeah, it was really interesting and I really just got into the painting. It was kind of fun. Hello, it's the next morning. So I thought it would be a little bit of a good challenge to continue on this morning doing the exact same thing except allowing myself music and see if that gets me in like a different flow. I do have to do a lot of admin work, so the challenge will end a little bit earlier, maybe around 3 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. And then afterwards, I'm gonna go to Kat's house to have dinner and do some art with Moo. So yeah, really exciting Friday. Really keen to keep working on this piece. So let's get straight into it. Alright, so this was the last stretch of my painting and also my art challenge. And upon reflection, I think turning music on helped in the way that I felt more normal. And I felt like, oh yes, this is the painting kind of vibe that I enjoy, where I'm vibing out to music, I'm in the flow. But at the same time, I think it also did open me up to more distractions. I found myself checking messages and going on Instagram a few times. I was like, doing a little cheeky hee here and there. But yeah, there's like this really happy flow state that I get into when I'm listening to an artist that I really like. And I also think it influences my painting decisions as well. I think I just love listening to music and I struggle the most with silence. But yeah, overall, I didn't really expect this challenge to lead me to making this really elaborate painting. I don't think I've done traditional art in a really long time, and I feel like it's because I don't give myself permission to. But just having this experience really kick-started a lot of inspiration, and because I wasn't spending so much time on social media or on TikTok, I just had so much time in the day, and I feel like that's the biggest takeaway from this. I have so much more time in my day than I think that I do, and I really want to be investing and spending that time making art. I think it makes me really happy, and I think I just had like the most calm, nice 2 days of making art that I've had in a really long time. So yeah, I was really, really glad that I did this challenge, and I also really like the painting that I made. It's called Contentment. Okay, it's 3 o'clock, so I'm gonna go back to my regularly scheduled work. But I had such a good time with this challenge, and I made this painting, and I haven't painted like this in such a long time. And it was so fun, so awesome, just to like get really, really into something. And I think it turned out really nice. I'm really proud of it. And I think what the past 2 days have taught me is that I can actually just focus on something for a long time, and I don't need all these distractions, even when I feel like I do, even when I feel like scared to make a move or to start a piece that is daunting. I can do it, and I'm capable, and I feel like that is the biggest takeaway. I really, really want to do more days like this. I'm thinking I can create a routine where I have kind of like normal working hours for myself, and within those hours I'm unreachable, you know, unless it's an emergency. And I do think it's been really good for focusing and for getting stuff done. And I feel really like pumped and motivated to continue doing more art. And it's one of those things where it's like a snowball effect, right? Like the more work, like the more art you do, the more art you want to do, I think. So yeah, it's been a really good 2 days, and I did fail a couple of times in between, I'm not gonna lie. Did go on my phone, was waiting for some texts so that I could make plans on the weekend. But overall, I think, yeah, it was just a great time. And, you know, learning lots of interesting things about myself too. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me basically just paint this piece all day. Gonna end the video off at this point and get to my usual work, which is gonna be in an art vlog that's coming up. Hope you like this one. Hope you enjoy the next one. I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye! 돌아보지 말고 떠나가라. 나를 찾지 말고 살아가라.